Welcome back to the channel, guys. How you guys doing? Honestly, how are you guys doing? Today I want to talk about something interesting because, I'm doing what I'm usually doing today. I'm starting my day off with producing, trying to make the beats better, trying to come up with new beats, and hopefully get 10 by the end of the day, 10 produced. And I wanted to talk about something interesting because I just saw this on Instagram. I saw my buddy, and he posted something interesting. He's a young dude. I think he's a little younger than me, and he posted about how he's doing these things, and he's DJing, and he was out partying and shit and whatever. And there was a piece of my brain that went. There was videos of him DJing, partying. That's what I used to aspire to be, at the age I am now. I was hoping by the time I'm 18, I can be doing that, and I can get up out of the room just practicing, and I can finally do it. And it's kind of like this weird full circle moment where I've realized that day, that freedom, quote unquote, of partying, of going out and doing it. And it's no diss to the kid or anybody doing that. Listen, it's an awesome profession. I know how to, I know the skill. It's a great skill in general. And what I realized was that full circle moment of saying, there's a piece of me that watched and kind of like was relieved, was that there's a world where there's so much freedom, where you could just chill and talk to people and not have to deal with this. There was really a piece of me that thought that. I'm gonna admit, I'm not gonna try to make it seem like I'm perfect, that I'm the guy that doesn't have thoughts like that too, where some may call it, like you're jealous of the guy, like he gets to do this and I have to do that, you know what I mean? And there was this quote, I forgot exactly who said it, but they're talking about people who you're jealous of. If you want to, instead of being jealous of them, lower your ego and learn from them. And what I realized is, learning from this guy, I wouldn't want to do what he's doing anyway, to learn from him. I know the skill he knows. I know the things he knows. I'm just not taking the actions to do that. So why would I be jealous of someone I don't want to be? I don't know if you guys have felt that before, but that, you talk about relief. I thought the relief of watching the kid and be like, oh, there's freedom. Wow, man, can you imagine doing that? The relief of not being attached to any of that made me like a bit appreciate this a lot more. It really did. It made me think that this was not just some kind of stunt, that I'm pulling. This is something real. This everything I'm doing between the business and the music producing and all of that. This is really, we can end up being, we can do this. It's like that song by Nas, and I think it's on Late Registration by Kanye, and where he's talking about we're major. We could make this major. You know what I mean? I could do it. You just gotta put in the hours. That's what I keep telling myself. You just gotta do it. And on camera, it's easy to say that. Honestly, it really is easy to say it on camera. It's harder to watch other people live the life that you're like, oh, I could do that. I could do it better than them. That's the funny part, is when you're like, I could do that. Yeah, I could party, but I could party better than them. And it's like, I could party. Oh, he's talking to that dude or that whatever. I would be funnier. I would do this. I would do it better. If only. And it's like, if only. Well, you chose to do this. Why is this not a privilege? Because it's something that you might necessarily not want to do on a day-to-day. Some days you don't want to do it, some days you do. Is that going to dictate your decisions? Or is what you think you should, right? What you think you should. And maybe it's the human condition, maybe it's not just me, maybe it really is the human condition of that, but it kind of motivated me more as I, continue the day, and as I go through it. I think my energy levels have been high. I took a bit of a break, I'm going to be honest. Midday, I was like, I kind of like, not napped, but I was like, I had to rest my head, and I did that for a little bit, and now I'm all energy, baby. We are all energy right now. I'm in it. So right now I just finished my 10th beat of the day. I think I'm gonna end here, but it's kind of like this weird takeaway from this, because I'm really hoping I can nail like my hours, my 10 hours that I want to do, and I want to get it up to. Right now, next thing I got to do is probably gonna edit some videos and record some more videos of this for Instagram Reels and TikToks. But yeah, today honestly, like for this is pretty simple. I didn't really have too much trouble with this. It was a little existential though, and that's what I think is. I'm wondering if that's kind of like, it's been like that for the past few days where I've kind of been looking at the screen and just remembering a lot of times that I was doing this and thinking about when, and kind of finding, you know, when you think about the past and you think about the future, you really know where the present is. You know, when you're in it, you're like, right, this is where I am. You don't lose sight. You know, you don't lose sight when you think about the past and the future a lot. You start to, I feel like that's actually a common thing that people say the opposite. People say, you know, you lose sight when you think too much about the past or think too much about the future. For me, it's been when my mind goes there, my mind just sees it, and something just happens where I come back to reality. I'm like, dude, we're here. We're doing it. And it's almost like this weird like gratefulness, you know? Because you kind of just figure a lot of it's not in your control. 99% of it, really, that's what it feels like, is not in your control of what's going to happen next. You know, what's going to be your next step, and where people are going to see you, and the timing of things. They used to say that about the stock market back in the day, where they would say, you know, the stock market goes up and down and everywhere, and we don't know where it's going to go, you know. Wolf of Wall Street, I think that's actually where it's from, Wolf of Wall Street, where Matthew McConaughey is like, we don't know where it's going to go. It's fake, you know. That's kind of what this feels like. It feels like you're not going to time the market, you know. You're just going to do what you're going to do and hope that what you're doing is timeless enough that once people catch on, it'll just create generational wealth. Quote unquote, it's a metaphor, but you know, when I say generational wealth, I mean almost like a generational skill. And no matter how quick or how long, it's not really in your control. You're kind of just like giving up. And when you think about time, when I've thought about time, it really makes me get existential about it. And now that I've been working so much, the hours just start blending in. I start looking at the screen like, dude, you're doing, it's like this weird gratefulness. It's really calming. So it's like, it's a weird energy, because it definitely has energy. There's some days I'm just depleted. And this morning was kind of like that, but just some days I'm gone and I can't keep going. But today I felt like I can keep going, and I'm going to keep going. And that's it. End of story. Just do it. Be grateful that you have the opportunity to do it. You know, it doesn't feel like, you know, I'm grateful, but I have to figure it. It's like, no, end of story. You're going through, you know, I am at a point where I'm going through the motions, of course, where it's not like every day's new. It's like, no, I am doing the same thing over and over and just willing it into like submission. Like, I'm going to perfect this skill to the point where I have it to like a sixth sense, you know, where it's in my head, ingrained in my head, this skill. I wish this on my greatest friend. They always say like, I don't wish this on my worst enemy. I wish this on my greatest friend. I really do. This is the best. But let's move on. So I just finished editing some pieces of content, posted some. It was pretty good, honestly. I had a bit of a dance party with my grandma. Honestly, I put some music on the TV, put a little bit of rap. She was enjoying. She was really enjoying herself. It was actually pretty funny. But you want to hear something funny though? Is that someone commented on my post on TikTok, and I was like, one of those things where I was like really quick, and I was going for it, and I was like, day 2. I said in the video something like day 2 of creating this, of doing this type of beat or whatever. I forget, but someone commented like, bro, just end this at day 2, like, right? And I commented back, all right, bro, now I'm gonna do day 3 just for you, man. I'm like, day 3 is just gonna be just for you. I found it to be funny. Gary Vee always talked about that, where he said all the people with the negative comments and whatever, it's like, hit them with positivity, dude. Hit them with some love. Like, why not hit them with some love? Like, what harm has love done? You know, Like, that's such a good point where it's like, at the end of the day, who cares? Who cares about what this person says that's negative? They comment on your post. How is that a negative thing? Even if it was coming from a place of mountain town, whatever. It's like, it's still a positive thing. It's still something that you have to look forward to. There's still, people are watching, People are watching. Damn, people are watching. I gotta write that down. People are watching. That's the quote of the day, I think. People are watching. No matter what you do, like today is the first time I felt like that. I felt like, all right, people are watching. They're not just haphazardly, they're watching. And they're looking out. They're looking out. They're doing what they're seeing. Really, they're seeing everything that I'm putting out, and hasn't been like jarring almost until now. Where I look at it and I'm like, all right, now I have to actually adjust and do something about it because people are watching. Even while I'm working, even while I'm always, thinking about that, trying to I feel like there are two types of reactions with that. Like, people are watching. There's the one type of reaction where it's like, okay, people are watching, and now I have to be fake. People are watching, gotta be fake. Time to put them a face. And there's a lot of what I did. Like, I talk from experience here. There's a lot of what I did. I did a lot of, be fake. But the other one, which is a nice alternative, or it has been, is people are watching, so don't be fake. So be you. And show that no one can compete with that. If that makes sense. No one's competing with me and my personality. Everyone, they'll compete in their own lane of what they do. But if everybody's trying to be fake, then now we all blend. It's like, that's a scary thought. A scary thought is everybody's the same. That's a scary fucking thought. I don't like that. I honestly don't like that thought. I'd rather everybody be different, be in their own lanes. It gives room for opportunity, and honestly, it gives room for views. I mean, I'm looking at someone like a Sam Sulek recently. He's been posting a lot of authentic shit, and I've enjoyed some of the shorts because I was watching, I get a lot of his shorts. When I'm watching YouTube shorts, I get a lot of his stuff, and he was talking like funny moments during, and I didn't know who the kid was, honestly. I didn't know who this guy is, and he's pretty young too, I think. And I didn't know who he was, and I'm looking at his content and stuff, and I'm like, dude, you're posting a lot of content, but because I guess because of the volume and because of the amount that he's posting, he doesn't really have to abide to like the YouTube rules, so to speak. By that I mean the whole like the clickbait back in the day. It used to be huge clickbait. Everybody's clickbaiting, but it's still kind of like that, where people aren't clickbaiting, but they're blending. Everybody's trying to sound the same and have the same energy. But some days I don't have that energy. So maybe show it, And I think people like a Mr. Beast, like an Eric, which I love them. What they do is interesting because as they go along and they started their YouTube career trying to become more like fast-paced, going for it. And as they got older, they stopped. Obviously, Mr. Beast is still going on that, but you can watch a podcast with them and they're being real. The videos are getting longer, right? It's not just as retention. It's like we have so much value that now people are finding value in you as a person, right? This is something that's almost, I think, ever all time in terms of celebrity status. I don't know if I've ever seen that. I don't know if I've ever seen someone of that status, people actually getting their authentic selves. We saw it with Joe Rogan also, where Joe Rogan was almost like, he created the comedy podcast pretty much, and he was one of the first pioneers of it. That when we saw him and how much he revolutionized, it really was revolutionary because look at this guy. At least that was my first thought. It was always, look at this guy, look what he's doing. It's not that spectacular. He's just talking. Right? It's like he's just talking. And then Schultz and Tim Dillon, all these people come out with their own podcasts, and they do so well. I mean, honestly, they're great. And it's all from this whole strip it from its performative quality. Strip not really like the content, because it's not that they post content, it's that they did stand-up comedy. So strip the sets, the bits, the comedy specials strip all the fakeness, so to speak. I feel like that's a bad word for it, fakeness, but strip it away and only give us the authenticity of what it's like to just be a funny person. It's like, wow, that really intrigued me. That really intrigued me. As someone that's, I watch YouTube like the way I think is going to be big when we get older, our generation. I'm only 18, so I was born 2004. Yeah, I almost forgot. I was born in 2004. And I think we're going to really, really start seeing as the generations go on that YouTube is kind of going to be celebrated the same way cinema is celebrated now, where we look at it as this insane art form. And there's a way of doing it. And I feel like I'm a fan of YouTube. I'm a fan of content in terms of watching it and actually soaking in of why I stay to the end of the video, or what they did that actually worked, that tuned the way I saw things. And a lot of it is actually stems from filmmaking, which is interesting. And a lot of it doesn't. A lot of it stems from reality TV, right? Which is reality TV in quotes. YouTube is some people on YouTube are far more real. And reality TV, the whole point of reality TV nowadays seems like to be the opposite. To just get attention and to keep, rather retention, to keep people watching. It's not about the reality. It's not about, that seems tacky, that seems... So now it gave this insane more like a gaping hole of content that could be created. And that's what we're seeing. That's what we're seeing right now, and that's honestly what interests me the most. That's what gets my mind going, It really does. It gets my mind going. So when I was editing especially, I do want to edit these, ironically, no pun intended, these reels. I want to edit these Instagram reels to be real. To be really me saying that there's this beat that I'm doing, because I'm actually doing a beat. I'm not really trying to sell it. I'm not trying to sell it to you, at least right now. You could ask for it, but I'm not trying to sell it to you right now. I just want you to see it. I just want to provide you value. You can tell me what you think, you cannot tell me what you think, whatever it is. You can like, you cannot like, whatever it is, okay. Now, because I'm going to be here a while. I don't think I'm going anywhere anytime soon. So why would I be scared? Why would I be nervous on a day-to-day? From a day-to-day's point of view, why would I be shivering in my boots? Literally doesn't make sense why I would be if I'm going to be here a while. That means I got a lot to learn. That means I could take myself off that pedestal, right? And say, cut the fucking ego and study. And study and learn. Because ego prevents learning. Ego prevents, I'm going to write that down. So ego prevents learning. I feel like it's just 3 words, and it's such an easy way to say that. But yeah, ego prevents learning. It has for me too. Like, I'm not just saying that out of my ass. It really has. I remember there were moments where I would talk to people. And I wanted a certain outcome from that person. I wouldn't get it. So instead of learning, I just don't think about it. Just ignore it. I didn't even make up an excuse. I was just like, just ignore it. Get it out of the way. Whatever. Ignore the fact that I'm messing up. Messing up when I was talking to people, when I was not communicating the ideas that I wanted to communicate in the way I wanted to sound. And then I had to take a step back and say, oh, it's ego that's the problem. Well, I can get rid of that easy. All you gotta do is learn and be in a place of learning, right? It's like picturing someone looking down to you and someone looking up to you, literally. I think that would be a good painting. Any painters out there, this would be a great idea. where you have a little kid looking up at their parents, and they literally look up to them, and they're coming from a place of learning with curious eyes, and all these things that can form success and greatness, true greatness that comes from here, right? And then the parents looking down at them, and they had the same eyes, because they're just as curious in the kid as the kid is with them, you know? So even if you've achieved something, that's all I'm trying to say, is that even if you've achieved something, you are like the parent in that picture, you've achieved something, and you're looking down at people who are worse at you or whatever it is, or you're looking down at your past self, you're still curious. Maybe even more curious. That's all. I've been even more curious as I get better. You know, you learn the rules. It's either you don't know the rules at all, or you learn the rules so well you could break them. That was a big quote that helped me out with music. That was, okay, let me learn these rules so well that I can learn to break them. Right? And have a unique sound with it. Have a really unique sound with it. Don't try to force anything. Don't try to make what's trending right now. I say that because that's what I used to do. You know, that was mistakes I have made and don't want to make again. Yeah, at least as of right now, you know, because I'm learning. Because like we said about the ego, is that I'm learning. And with these videos, I think can come success. It can come, whatever you want, numbers, followers, whatever it is. It can come now. It can come tomorrow. I got a viral video. My mind's not thinking about viral video. My mind is thinking one step at a time. If I could still, like when I was running, I used to tell myself that, if I could still take one step, then let me take one step. I'm not done yet. I'm not done till I literally can't walk anymore. My feet are killing me. You know, till my feet are literally can't work anymore. I'm gonna, it's like that Eminem song, Till I Collapse. It's like, literally, dude, I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going. I swear. I want this. And I don't think it's coming from a place of disingenuousness, I don't think it's coming from a place of disingenuous. I think it's coming from a place of authenticity. And not a lot, but a little bit of experience. And a whole lot of curiosity. So that's the end of the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Honestly, like and subscribe if you want. And see you tomorrow.